Businesses and churches will be working together to try and figure out the best way to reopen later this week. Depending on where you live, you need to expect some differences in the way businesses and churches will operate in this new normal. Our Megan Key is joining us live in Carrollton. Megan, New Orleans will operate under a little more stricter restrictions than most places across the state.
Yes, you're right, Eric. New Orleans does have tighter restrictions to reopening, but one thing that the state and New Orleans can agree on is face masks. Officials want you to mask up, especially when you're in closed spaces like grocery stores, to prevent the spread of COVID. Now, across the state, most of the state will be reopening on Friday, but here in New Orleans, the city will be reopening a day later on Saturday. Now, restaurants, beauty salons, places of worship, gyms, they have more reopening guidelines. Here's a breakdown for you. The state is allowing restaurants to open at 25% capacity. New Orleans will do the same, but New Orleans restaurants must book reservations for anyone planning to dine inside. Now, most churches across the state can fill buildings to 25% capacity. In New Orleans, churches must limit gatherings to 25% capacity or 100 people, whichever number is less. Now, for gyms, the state will allow them to open at 25% capacity. In the city, the same is allowed, but they're not allowing group classes, locker room activity, showers, or the operation of saunas and spas. Now, when it comes to New Orleans restaurant reservations, healthcare leaders say they need restaurants to hold on to customers' information.
Restaurants should retain a name and contact number for over 21 days, and that may change as we move forward with Friday, as we approach Saturday. But right now, we know keeping the data will matter, and it does tie in to our contact tracing process.
Well, the mayor wants anyone who sees a business failing to comply with those guidelines to report them to 311. Reporting live in Carrollton, Megan Key, Eyewitness News.
And Sita, thank you very much, Megan.